It's your turn.
Why?
Why charities like Centre Paul Rolland are important in Montreal?
That's a good question. Well, Centre Paul Rolland does a lot to help feed people on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. Our service runs regardless of holidays, regardless of blizzards and power outages. We find a way to cook and deliver between 80 and 100 meals 5 days a week, no matter what. So already that's a basic need for people to eat healthy, nutritious food. So that's the most basic reason I would say. We do a lot more than our Meals on Wheels. We also play a large part in educating people around the importance of urban agriculture and the positive environmental impacts of that. And we do a lot to break the social isolation of the people who receive our Meals on Wheels, but also to a certain extent some of our volunteers. So that is why we're important, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What are the impacts that comes with your charity?
Well, I just mentioned some of them. So breaking social isolation, breaking economic isolation as well. So a lot of our clients of the Meals on Wheels are low income, and we work really hard to keep our costs low enough so that they can be affordable to people to be able to eat healthy food on a regular basis. And we try to make even our fundraising events, where our main goal is to raise money, we try to make them as accessible as possible for people to be able to contribute what they can to the organization and not be excluded. We also, sorry, repeat the question. Why?
What are the impacts that comes with your charity?
The impacts. So inclusivity, breaking social isolation, breaking economic isolation, getting people engaged. We have a lot of people with special needs or people with mobility challenges, mental health challenges, newcomers to Canada who volunteer here as a way of being engaged with the community, meeting friends, feeling like they have a home here. And so that's a pretty big impact that we have as well. And I mean, I'm sure there's quite a long list, but overall those are the biggest impacts that I can think of. Yeah.
What are the reactions you get from your clients when they receive their meal?
The reaction is generally positive. There are definitely some people who don't really like the food and do not continue with the service, but that's normal because everyone has a different taste. And we have, at any given moment, somewhere around 120, 130 clients that we're serving. And throughout the entire year, we serve something like 320 to 350 clients overall. And so all that to say, most people, I would say 90%, are quite happy with the quality of the food, the service. There are definitely some days where something goes wrong in the kitchen and the meal is not perfectly prepared. Things don't come out exactly as we would have hoped. We send it out in a good enough state, even if it's not perfect. And we get some phone calls where people say, oh, something happened in the kitchen today, so this tastes a little weird. That doesn't happen often, it happens rarely, but I'd say 9 times out of 10, when a volunteer shows up at the door of a client, the client is really, really happy to not only receive the food and will call us to say, oh, that was a really good meal today, but also is really happy to receive the visit from the volunteer. So it's not just about the reaction of the clients to receiving the meal, but in our mission statement we actually say that we're using food as a vehicle to break social and economic isolation. So everyone needs to eat, and everyone needs to eat healthily, but just as important for us is the connection that's made at the door of the client